Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Diamond Select Toys, Ghostbusters 2, Slime Blower Ray Stanz. I want to give a huge shout out to Diamond Select Toys for making this review possible. As you can see, Ray comes in that typical Diamond Select packaging with a big blister showing you the figure and accessories that you'll be receiving. So there's no deception that could happen because of packaging. And on the side, we do have big old picture of Ray Stanz, Dan Aykroyd, that face sculpt. It's a really nice, clean sculpt. That Ghostbusters 2 logo. And then on the back, we do have some read-up information there. Let me get it in frame if we possibly can. Let's see. Oh, it's bent a little bit. There we go. Got Ray right there. Get Peter, Winston, and to build this guy, you literally need 15 figures to build this whole Dio. So that's series 6 through 10. So 15 figures with that piece to be able to build this amazing Dio piece right there. So let's go ahead and get Ray out of his plastic prison. So Dan Aykroyd out of the package. It looks amazing. Now, he did come with a ton of stuff, some little paperwork. One of the paperwork showing off some of the other items you can pick from Diamond Select Toys. That Slimer Bank, I do believe, glows in the dark, which is pretty cool. Mini Mates, if people were into those. I mean, they weren't really my 100% cup of tea. I know I picked up some. This is the first set of figures, and then that's the Dio it builds. And then we got all these guys from this wave, and I need to pick them up. I need to get Rick Moranis, Vigo. I'm not looking forward to that weird dude that comes with the baby. But the main thing is the end results. I want to build the Firehouse diorama. 15 pieces you have to purchase to get this thing built. Comes with probably the alternate different signs that you can hang up there. Ghostbusters 1, 2, and the real Ghostbusters. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to have that? Have your Ghostbusters crew standing in front of that Dio is just amazing. Now, Ray here, he comes with part of the door. I think that's goes like this. Maybe this isn't even the door. Maybe it's the upper part. Let me take, yeah, it's like the above the door piece. So it swings open like so. So you get this piece with Ray. And I mean, it just gives you the idea how big this Dio is going to be. Insanely big, and probably going to be beautiful. Big and beautiful. There's not many ways you can go. Like, I wasn't aware that you had to collect 15 pieces. I had to look it up, and because I thought, oh, the real Ghostbusters is coming out, I can get that full 6 figures. I'll have the front Firehouse made. I'll be good to go. That's all I really need to focus on if I want to just do real Ghostbusters. That's not the case. And just sort of show you how in-depth this Dio is. I mean, these are the steps that you use to put the thing together. And it gets crazy. Like, but in a good way. I mean, you want a nice, put together, sturdy looking Dio. And then you know it's going to look amazing afterwards. I mean, the end results is the main factor. And then it's also, you want something that's sturdy, that's not going to fall off the shelf or anything like that. He does come with a alternate head for Vigo from this wave. And that head is pretty crazy looking. It's just like screaming. His eyes are black with the red pupil in there. It's just like gross and bubbling out. Just so nasty, and it makes his hair look like he has a mullet, like something you'd see at a Kid Rock concert or something like that. But I mean, that's crazy. And they have a nice wash. They like painted it in like a flesh tone, and then they added a wash over it. And again, I mean, Diamond is never scared to use washes and paint, so definitely a nice addition to have your Vigo posed and presented and displayed however you really want them to. Then he comes with another little accessory, a jar of slime. And this looks awesome. I mean, it looks like almost like a candle that you could pick up at, a store. Wonder what fragrance that would be. But either way, it's just cool that you get this little jar of slime. I was hoping the top came off, but as I was messing with it, it doesn't. So definitely a really cool little thing. And I mean, you can use this for other figures too. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ghostbusters theme, because nothing is saying that it's only Ghostbusters. So use it with the other figures too. He also comes with a hand radio. As I just drop it. Like, here's a hand radio. Drop. Just black plastic, sculpted to look like a radio. It's got all the details that you'd want on it. So you get that. Then he comes with more stuff. Like, it is just a good amount of items that he comes with. So he comes with some alternate hands. On the back of the wrapper, it showed him with skin hands, but I mean, I don't mind gloved hands. So you get a pair of like almost like clawy, grippy hands. They look good. And this part is like a separate rubbery piece. Then there's the peg that pegs in. So you can never go wrong with extra hands. Then we get the slime that he shoots out. And this is sculpted really well, made out of like it's a harder plastic. It's a little bit, it's not overly soft to wear. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it drooping. Maybe, I don't know. If I plug this in and say you're in a warm room, I could imagine maybe this would droop a little. But it's sculpted nice. It's like sculpted very well. It's casted almost like a translucent, maybe very light pink plastic, or it's translucent plastic completely and then painted pink. One of the two. Or it's a mixture of both. It still looks good. Even off camera, it looks a lot cooler. On camera, it's bringing it out as super pink. But it definitely has a lot areas like in the inner part that's a little bit more see-through-ish. Not completely, but not as pink. But very cool. Now let's dive into the figure. That's what we're here about. You guys want to see this figure. Now, out of the package, this dude has a lot of weight. It's because of his backpack. I wish he had a stand. I did pick up the first set of Ghostbuster figures at Toys R Us, RIP Toys R Us, when they were around, and it was before I realized dial pieces and all that stuff existed. I got all 4 figures. They came with black little like oval stands with a peg. I wish this came in here because I'm going to show you guys. He wants to lean back. He has a lot of weight on his back. He's got that, he just wants to, it's all of this that's weighing him back, and all of this looks amazing. So there's a lot to look at this figure. So I'm going to try to make sure I don't skip a beat, but if I do, don't kill me. I don't mean to miss anything. It's just there's a lot going on. Now, this is the container that holds the slime, obviously, but I love the look. I love the little decals that are on here. I mean, you can't really read them, but you know that there's information on there about the electronics and stuff like that. So you got one here, you got one here. And these are actually like painted on. Got them up here too. So all this cool detail. And it's like, I can only imagine when they made this film, they're just like, let's just start slapping stuff together. Let's get a bunch of pieces and stuff and let's put it together. Now this does actually say a word on there. It does say caution. So that attention to detail is really nice. All that. Love it. Love the texture, sculpt work into this hose. And it doesn't feel like it's going to like snap or anything like that. We get that awesome Ghostbusters 2 logo. Very clean. Very clean, especially for a wrinkly shirt piece. Then we get these. I think these are lights or they're supposed to be gauges. I can't really think they're lights. But either way, those I just wish they looked a little bit better. Maybe if they would have had translucent plastic, but it just looks like somebody just globbed white paint on it. It does say no handle right there. So the whole backpack piece is very nice. I think it even comes off. Like these straps are separate pieces. Let me see how It's a separate piece in a sense. I think you would have to take off the whole harness, and if you can even do that, I'm not going to try because it just looks like it would be a pain to try to get this thing back together. It definitely would be a pain. But they definitely nailed the Dan Aykroyd face there, looking really nice. It's got that smirk, got the hair, and this is actually there's no really wash on his face or anything like that. Just painted in that flesh tone. Eyes are painted nice. Hair is just one tone. So his head can look down that far, but leaning it back is just impossible because of the backpack. But if it wasn't there, I'm sure it could. He actually can get a little bit of attitude going on, even though his facial expression is enough attitude right there. Definitely nice. Got this vest painted up okay. Overpainted a little bit, like some overspray on there. Arms can articulate this high. Then he has a single jointed elbow and it rotates at the elbow. Now, one thing that's really cool is the actual elbow pad is a separate piece. And you can, shift it around as you move the elbow and everything around. So therefore, it's where it should be. Then his arms, or his hands, should I say, arms. Then his arms. But his hands do rotate, and depending on which hand you have, there is, some bending in there. So rotating and bending. Let's get his arms up, out of the way. He does have a diaphragm, and he has a waist swivel. So there's like double. So he has a waist swivel here, and he has that diaphragm. That diaphragm, it moves. You just got to work it a little bit. But it's because he has all this extra rubber gear on, and I dig it. Like, I understand, like, you're probably not going to get him into crazy super Spider-Man poses or anything like that because he's wearing a huge tank. I can only imagine how much this thing would weigh, especially when you got it all strapped down and everything. But still looking really nice. Heavy on the paint, it looks like. Certain areas are just heavy on the paint, but then again, it's, I guess, just that style. Those don't really look like circles too much compared to this side. This side's nice. Those not so much. Got a little bit of, like, it's cool how they transition. They have a bunch of like shiny paint. They got the matte paint. Got the detail of the little clip there. All this sculpted very nicely and accurate. And get out of here. You have a little pocket there. Is this for what I think it is? Yes. Heck yeah. That's awesome. I thought it was just an accessory he's going to have to hold in his hand or something like that. But the actual radio fits right into his little pouch there. That's really nice. I love discovering things when I open a figure because I don't sit here and play with it off the camera at all. I just basically open them, get them up, and start recording. So I love experiencing and finding stuff out about figures when I'm reviewing them. This is pretty awesome. Now, I'm not a fan of this style hips. I like the rounded and the ball joint and all that stuff. It's just how Diamond is some of their figures. And some of those figures honestly can pull it off. Even when you move his legs out this far, you really don't notice it too bad. And plus he has the belt and stuff to block it as well. It's just however you're going to pose it. Like if I'm going to be doing this with him, which he can definitely aim to do the Van Damme split, it's going to look a little weird. But getting them all standing up normal, holding his slime blower, it's going to be fine. And he does have a thigh swivel, if it will. Oh, really tight. Double jointed knee. And I love the fact the pegs are pretty much the same color as the plastic in the leg itself. Get an ankle bend, and we get a pivot. No boot swivel, which that would have been great. Like having him stand. If this would have swiveled, it might have prevented him from falling back to help balance out this heavy pack. But again, really nice. I love the P-tube. I do believe that's initially what this was for, but they got it. It's nice. Doesn't feel like it's going to break off, or it's just a really nice piece. And it makes it stand out from a normal looking figure. Like all of this, all the detail and gear that you get with this figure makes it stand out from your typical figure. So on a shelf with some nice lighting and everything, oh, this thing's going to look good. So I saved this part for last. This was sort of originally came slung up over his shoulder and everything. This is the actual slime blower itself. And this thing has a lot of detail. Like bronze, gold connectors, silver paint, the little green light at the top right up there. You know, all these additional painted on details makes it work. And you got that tip right there, which you're going to plug your slime into. A little bit of seam issue right there. You can see that extra, my finger is right there. Plastic part of the mold, but it is what it is. But let me get him posed up with the slime and everything and take a look at him that way. So holding the slime blower, he can definitely do it. I was having a little bit of trouble, but I ended up making it work. And what's cool is this weight of this slime helps balance out the backpack. So my initial issue is taken care of by the weight of the slime coming out of the blower. Looks really nice. Now, one of the things that I noticed is you can see one hand's not really doing anything and the other one's holding the front because the handle of how this is, it just doesn't work. Like the handle over there, it should be more so being held by one hand and this up by the other, but it just, the vest and stuff, like that's as far as I can get his arm in. So, I mean, it just doesn't allow it. So you just have to switch out the hands and make it presentable. You know, I made sure that I clipped it on because he doesn't really, here, I'll show you. I'm like, you can't really do this, but I'm just going to show you. So I tried putting the hand in here to hold on to it, but it doesn't grip it, that handle. So you're really looking at, your best bet is to grip the front with the other hand. It'll do it. Oh, it took his hand out. So, whoops. But yeah, I had it posed up. So you can basically clip one hand on, bring it back. Well, try and do it on camera. But yeah, you can hold it with the one hand and just use this one. I'll probably swap it out. Let me swap out the hand. So I actually put in the proper hand. It looks great. He's holding on to the hosing because it's just, again, it's not going to really grab the handle. I guess you can have it where one hand's holding that or that. However you really, it's your toy. You can pose him however you want. Now, that is not his original hand. That came with my Ghostbusters 1 figures. Now, what happened is I was very stupid. I was very dumb with what I did with my figure. And when you start hearing that, you know what happened. I broke it. I broke the peg off his hand. And that was just stupid of me to do that. This disc hinge in his hand was tight. And I didn't know. It wasn't horribly tight, but it was still tight. And this part was like angled upward. So instead of me taking off the little rubber booty and trying to move it with my normal hand to get it like worked, I stuck the tab not all the way in and tried using the hole in his arm to shift it, and it snapped. Now, normally I'd be upset. I am bummed that this happened, but it's my ignorance. But Diamond is generous with their figures. We got so many different hands, and the Ghostbuster 1 hands work on Ghostbuster 2 figures. So it's a win-win. I just have one broken hand. But I love this figure. If you guys love Ghostbusters, you want to pick these up, definitely hit up shop.diamondselecttoys.com. You can start collecting them, or you can go extreme and just buy all 15 figures you need to build the firehouse. That's the verge I'm at because I need that firehouse. And you can see in the background, you know, right there where my finger is, I have that glow-in-the-dark Ghostbuster logo because, I mean, I ended up getting the, whatever that other company is that made them. But still, I'm a Ghostbusters fan, and I need that firehouse. That's like an iconic front piece that you got to have. And again, you need to collect waves 6 through 10, and then those are 15 figures total. You build the Dio. You have this epic front of the firehouse. And that sums up my unboxing and review of Diamond Select Toys Ghostbusters 2 Slime Blower Race Stance. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Make sure you check out Diamond Select Toys YouTube channel. The link is down below. Subscribe to it as they're putting up videos, letting you know what new type of items they're coming out with. And also check out shop.diamondselecttoys.com if you want to pick up your Ghostbusters figures or any other of the lines that they produce. Definitely check out that website. I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.